Hello everyone and welcome back to a very deflated SAFC Fan TV. Sunderland were 2-0 up, then conceded twice to go to 2-2, then broke away, scored a third, 3-2 up, then barely 2 or 3 minutes later concede a great free kick from Sean McConville to make the score 3-3, and that's how the game finished. Michael, I'll go to you on this first. Your thoughts on the game? Just disappointing, deflating, isn't it really?
Well, yeah, when you're when you're 2-0 up in the game, I thought in the first half Accrington had a couple of half chances, but I felt Sunderland were in relative control. We got 2-0 up. The game became a bit scrappy. We had chances to go further ahead, but it's like I keep banging on about, yes, you need to take the chances, but you shouldn't be needing to score 4 goals to win a game. And I think I looked at the stats that the last 5 games we've conceded 10 goals, which I'd love to know what the hell's happened to our defence. And if anyone comes out with we've only got one fit centre-half, well, that wasn't stopping us keeping clean sheets before then, so I'm not buying that as an excuse. But, first of all, I will say congratulations to Hull. That's our results confirmed their promotion mathematically. And it's all but confirmed Peterborough's. I think Peterborough are 10 points ahead of Lincoln, who've got a game in hand. But essentially, Peterborough just need to get one more win, and they've done it. So we're stuttering our way into the playoffs at the moment. So we need to wake up in the next 3 games. What can you say? The first goal I thought was atrocious from a defensive point of view. I thought 9 got switched off far too much. Second one, well, we're going to have a debate on who we think was at fault for the own goal. Third goal, McConville, good free kick. Can't knock it, but shouldn't have been able to have the free kick in the first place because we keep giving these niggly fouls away, and we really wish we'd stop doing that. So what you take over from us, I'm going to rant on if I'm not careful.
Yeah, it was absolutely pathetic. I think it was McGeady who actually gave the free kick away. And we do this all the time. We give away these stupid fouls, especially in insignificant areas where players aren't even doing anything. It's not as if it's a tactical foul. Normally, it actually happens in their half, which is frustrating, but you don't do it on the edge of your own box when the player's not really going anywhere and you just needlessly foul them. To be fair, from McConville, it was a fantastic free kick, and I'm not going to take anything away from it. I think Birch got a bit of a hand to it, but he couldn't have probably placed that any more accurately. So I'll take my hat off to McConville, a great strike. But Dino, at half-time, we were 2-0 up. We looked to be in relative control of the game. Accrington only maybe really had 1 or 2 chances throughout the game, or 1 or 2 slightly nervy moments from us. Where did it all go wrong in the second half?
Just Sunderland in general. We're a one-half team. We have been most of the season. We play a great one half and we play a shocking second half. It's been the same for the last 2 seasons. Look at the Portsmouth final in the EFL. What great one half and then what terrible in the other. It's just a mentality thing. I don't know what it is. It's got to be a bunch of these players where they can only turn up for one half. How can you be so good in one half, score 2 early goals, and then in the second half just look like a totally different team? I just don't understand how. Accrington Stanley put the tempo up. They were pressing, we're attacking, but where was up? What were we doing? We only in the second half we only looked good attacking wise in the last 10 minutes when we're chasing the game. Other than that, second half were practically non-existent. McConville's free kick. I don't think he does that on a regular basis. McGeady scores free kicks for fun mainly, and McConville, I've never known him to score a free kick, but what a free kick that was. Barring in, what a free kick. He had Lee Burge outstretched as well. Lee Burge was literally all at stretch and still couldn't get his hand to it. The 09 own goal, you can put blame on Burge, you can put blame on 09, but at the end of the day, Luke 09's in charge of that situation. He either heads it out, but he decides to head it back to the keeper, not knowing where the keeper's going to be. So for me, it's Luke 09. He should just put it out. If you don't know where the keeper is, don't head it back to him. Simple as that. I thought Lee Burge got a bit unlucky because I thought he got his hand. I thought he had literally pushed out the net, but unfortunately, he was just a little bit more outstretched. And Bishop's goal, yeah. Michael says it's bad defending, but I just think it was a great pass by Charles to Bishop, because if you look at it from their perspective, their goalie says, it was sloppy defending, but if we scored that, it'd be, what a great pass. Yeah. So for me, it was a really good pass. It was, Luke 09 was running backwards. He played it on the other side of Luke 09, and Dion Charles just beat him for pace. It was a good pass. It's an embarrassing result for Sunderland, being 2-0 up, and somehow you scrape a 3-3 draw is actually pathetic and embarrassing on all levels.
Yeah, just on the goals, really. I think the one goal that needs talking about is the Luke O'Nien own goal. When that ball gets floated into the box in Luke O'Nien's position, if you're going to head it, you do one of two things. Either you head it clear and you make sure that ball goes out for a corner, or you look to head it back to the keeper. But if you're heading it back to the keeper, if you're going to do the latter, you've got to make sure that the keeper's in a position he can receive the ball. I think when he did it, he didn't really decide which one he was going for. He thought, I'll just head it back towards goal. And it wasn't certainly going to go out for a corner, but additionally, Burge wasn't in any position to receive it because he was coming out to get himself. It's poor communication, really. But I think Luke O'Nien has got it. When he decides that he's going to head that ball because of the communication that's let us down, you've got to make sure you get it right. I mean, we scored a goal towards the end, our first two. The typical Charlie White goals, a nice ball in by Gooch and then another one by McGeady and White as well to finish them both. I think we're all in agreement. It's a pretty standard thing that's happened so far this season. But our last goal, Diamond in particular, who came off the bench, did really well. I think that to get a counter-attack moving that quickly. And Dino, you mentioned on the watch-along, we don't often, when we get a move like that, have players just breaking their necks and backs to get forward. And I think there was 4 of us in the end. He decided to slip it over towards Max Power. And yeah, you can see, it was a bit lucky that we got a deflection that put it in, but they got lucky with us, with 09 deciding to head it back into our own net. Lads, on to the positives ever so slightly today. I think despite the probably poor moments in the second half, I thought Josh Scowen probably had his best game for Sunderland that I've ever seen. I know it doesn't see a lot, but I think he had an improved performance on Tuesday. Dino, Josh Scowen looked quite good today, especially in the first half.
He looked like our best player. I mean, he was breaking play up. His passing was actually quite good today, considering he was putting in good tackles. The only thing about Scowen, he's not a creative midfielder, and he thinks he is. He needs to just know that he's not a creative midfielder. He's not one of the people who can thread a pass or do a good cross. He just needs to realise he's good at one thing, energy. Well, 2 things: energy and getting the ball off the other team. So he needs to stop thinking he's a creative midfielder, because that's where he starts making the mistakes and bad passes, because he thinks he's a creative midfielder and he's not. But he had a good game today. I give it. He's my man of the match for me. I thought he was outstanding today.
Yeah, just on that, I think he feels a responsibility to go forward and create, because as much as he hasn't got really any quality on the ball, and I think anyone reasonable will probably tell you that it's not me digging him out. I think it's just an objective assessment of the lad. Really, he's not got any quality on the ball. He gives it away far too cheaply. But I think that comes from us not having anyone who can do that, and maybe he looks at himself as the guy who to do that. And I think the main player in the squad who I look at who could do that is Luke O'Nien, but obviously he's having to play in centre back at the moment due to the defensive injuries, which we've talked about 1,000,001 times really. But I know what you mean. But no, I thought Scowen today in the first half, his passing was significantly better. His touch was a lot better, and he did the industrious work of winning the ball back and stuff like that. The second half, as everyone did, he dropped off. But the first half, I thought in particular, he had a good game, and I've gave him a lot of criticism, especially in recent weeks. So I'll hold my hands up and say, Josh Scowen, great game today. Michael, your man of the match.
Scowen as well. First half, I think in the second half nobody stood out enough, but the first half when we actually looked like doing something, Scowen was literally at the heart of that. He was the engine in midfield that was winning the ball back, doing the typical industrious stuff. But the difference is this time his passing was with a purpose. He was actually trying to find a red and white shirt instead of giving it to an opposition player all the time. And that was something that was significant early on in the game, and that was probably a big part of why we went 2-0 up. We won the midfield battle early on. For some reason, we decided to lose it second half. But Scowen's the one. Scowen's the one I would give man of the match to. But based on that second half, a few of our players need to look at themselves, especially defensively.
Yeah, I said that, I think around about half time, some point late in the first half, there was a lot of 6, 7, 8 out of 10 performances. It's been an overall decent performance. In the second half, of course, it just completely dropped off. But Dino, I see you wanting in.
It's just dropped to 3s and 4. Well, actually, that's harsh. Sorry, go on.
Two things. Second half, one player stood out for me, and he came on the pitch. Jack Diamond, he looked great. Yeah. Pace, he was going past players. I thought he was class the second half. And secondly, Lee Johnson's substitutions again baffling. Why are you bringing Ross Stewart on with a minute to go? I mean, I didn't understand that. You brought him on for a corner, and the corner didn't even beat the first man. I mean, come on, man. If you want to chuck the big lad up front, you chuck him on for the last 5-10 minutes. And again, no Maguire.
I think he sensed an opportunity with Ross Stewart where we had a corner and he thought this is his game, this is what he does best. And that's why he probably took him on. He probably had no intentions of putting him on before that. But I do think, Ross Stewart, if you're going to bring him on, you do it earlier. And again, you see it all the time. When Lebeter came on, I thought he nailed that substitution. I thought Lebeter was the perfect player to come on just to calm the game down. It didn't really go that way in the end, but I mean, not only do I see the logic, but it's what I was calling for as well. But again, Chris Maguire, I think, is a player who could have came out today and had a great impact. But like you said, Jack Diamond, he's got that ability to just run at defenders and absolutely terrify them. He's pace, he's dribbling. He lacks a bit of end product sometimes, but he made a good decision playing over Power. It was a nice ball, set up Power nicely today. But like I say, he's just got that ability to like run at defenders and terrify them, and they don't even know what they're doing. He reminds us a bit of when Denver Hume first came into the first time initially, and he used to do that thing when he just used to drive inside from the left, and midfielders and defenders would just buckle at him doing it. But overall, lads, I think today it was a great chance, especially a 2-0 and then 3-2 up, to have a bit of a confidence builder, really going into the last few games of the season before the playoffs, to build a bit of momentum, to build a bit of form going into the playoffs, which it's all about who can outscore each other, really. But, unfortunately, we've gave it away. And if we show that kind of mentality in the playoffs, then unfortunately, promotion isn't going to be ours. Of course, we now look forward to our next game. Hopefully, we can put things right there. I think, is it Blackpool we've got on Tuesday night? I'm sure we'll be talking about that on the Sunday, but as well as talking about this game in a bit more detail. But we'll leave it there, lads. Make sure to join us for the Sunday Bunch tomorrow as well. Of course, at 7 p.m, we'll go through today's game and preview the next one. But for myself, Jack Dodds, from Michael Bowles, from Dana Algar, thank you for watching the review. We hope you enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.